So yesterday, Korea and Black Forest Labs just banded together to create a new open source image model called Flux One Korea that is able to create AI images that doesn't have the AI look. Essentially, the images that were created using this model are going to be very convincing and realistic. Even though the results are pretty good, I actually have done some testing and I have made some tutorials on how you can create images using this model. But it is not absolutely necessary because we can actually use the Gemini AI to generate images with convincing results, because right now it is utilizing the Imagen 4 model, which has a very high resolution. It has native 2K resolution, and there are so many images that you could create using this AI image model, and it is accessible. Everyone can create images even without having to subscribe to a premium account. So in this video, I'll show you some examples of images that you could create easily using Gemini alongside with the prompts in the video description. Now, the first example that I want to show you is a wide shot. This is actually a picture that I do really like, the style that I really like when creating pictures using AI. Essentially, it is this kind of style is trying to emphasize an expansive and encompassing view that includes both the subject, which is this person, and its surrounding to convey scale and setting. And the prompt that you could utilize is going to look something like this. Now, you don't have to write or follow my exact prompt, but basically you might want to include the keywords if you want to get this kind of result. So be sure to include the word wide angle shot into your prompt to generate a picture with this particular angle or style. Again, all the prompts and the links will be available in the video description, so you can use them as sort of references or example. Now, let's move on with another example. The next one is very popular. It is known as golden hour. It is basically a picture that is using soft light during sunrise or maybe sunset to achieve a naturally flattering and glow in images. And this kind of style is also very popular in stock images. If you go to Pixabay or some random stock images on the internet, you'll see this kind of style very often, and it is also quite easy to achieve with Gemini or Imagen 4. So what you need to do is that you have to include the keyword, the golden hour, and sometimes you might want to pair that with the bokeh effect. It is usually go hand in hand to create a more convincing result. So always include golden hour and perhaps bokeh effect on your prompt to generate this kind of picture. Okay, now let's move on to the next example. This is also my favorite, and this is actually known as photojournalistic style. It is trying to focus on a candid, natural moment, specifying real-life action or emotion for a more authentic documentary style visuals. So this is a picture of a woman doing some pottery work, and the prompt that you could use looks something like this, and the keyword that you might want to include into your prompt is just this one, photojournalistic style, and that's about it. And the rest of the description is just up to you, whatever image that you are trying to create, but be sure to include the word photojournalistic style. Okay, that was the fourth example. Let's move on to another one. This is also quite popular. This is called motion blurred. Essentially, you can maintain the subject to be in focus, but the rest is kind of blurred. This is very popular to create a scene that emphasize movement or speed. So the prompt that you could use is this one, sharp focus against a slightly motion blur background, and that's about it. Again, all the prompts are available in the video description. Let's move on to the other one. This is probably my favorite example because it's very authentic. It's almost like amateur picture, but it was made by AI. So this is known as shoot through image. It is essentially adding an out of focus element like maybe a grass or maybe some object, or maybe in this case a bicycle frame, and it's partially obscuring the main subject for a more deeper or more layered depth. And this is actually looking really good. And the prompt that you could use is this one, just add the shoot through method, and AI should understand you're trying to create a picture that kinda look like this. Okay, let's move on to another one. This is also very popular. It's called macro photography, where you can take a closer look to an object, and the rest is basically blur. It's a bokeh background, but it is very, very extreme. So it is an excellent close-up of a small insect, and it has very high detail, sharp focus, and the background is softly blurred. I think this almost like a real picture that was taken by, National Geographic or something. So the prompt that you could use is quite simple: macro photograph, and the rest is just your own description. Now let's move on to the final example. This is essentially known as high contrast image. You can tell Gemini to use strong light, bold shadow, and vivid differences between bright areas and dark areas. It is going to highlight the texture and color for a more dramatic effect. And the prompt looks something like this. Oh, actually not this one. I don't know why Gemini is giving me this kind of text, but yeah, it's just some artifacts. But basically, this is the prompt that you could utilize. Always include the word high contrast image on your prompt, and Gemini will create a picture with a very high contrast image. It is almost like a picture was taken by an amateur photographer outside a building in outdoor area. So that's why the result look like this. So these are some examples that I just created using Gemini, but of course, there are many other examples, there are many other scenarios that you could create using Gemini, and will give you very realistic and very convincing picture. So you can actually check other examples on this blog post, which is actually my inspiration for creating this video. You can check some examples that were created on this blog. I'll leave the link in the video description if you're interested. Anyway, that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. I wish you a great day ahead.